Hi, John. Welcome to the Human Ping. First of all, I really want to congratulate you because since the time you have come out of the Big Boss house, people have a newfound respect for you. I mean, people know you as like a good boy. So, how do you feel about that?
It feels good. It feels really, really nice when you're recognized for good things, and yeah, it's sort of something that I didn't. It's something that was very normal for me because my upbringing has been such. But to find out that people appreciate this, it means a lot to me, and I'm going to strive to be the same for as long as I can.
Yeah. Your mom must be so proud, uh, when she looked at your journey. What was her first reaction when she saw you after you came out of the house?
Ma's first reaction was a bit of shock actually because when she hugged me, so I lost a lot of weight in the Big Boss house, and she saw me after like an entire 2 months, and the first thing that a mother notices, she hugged me and she's like, "Kaisa ho gaya hai? You become thin," and stuff like that. So yeah, otherwise, but like overall, she was very very happy, and honestly, I didn't have this long a journey in my mind. I had set a target of like 2 to 3 weeks tops. I'm very glad that I got to stay there for like half the season. So it was a good moment. It was a good moment of reunion for me and my mom. She was very happy about whatever I had achieved and done. She was really happy.
Your main motive to go in that show was to give you a career boost, right? And people even on the show or the audiences, like they really appreciated your singing, like whatever you guys used to do in the house, and they really appreciated. And now you're coming with a video of yours, and
Yeah.
I saw that Be Intahasa, right? The song name is that, and it's just gonna hit. And tell me about it, that when you faced like camera for the first time and you had to like act a bit, or like just be like the pop star as we call it. How comfortable was it for you, and did Big Boss help, because that was also kind of facing the cameras for the first time?
So I think after Big Boss, anything is nothing is difficult. To be honest with you, because as you said, we had cameras on us 24/7, and I am a very camera conscious person. I'll be very honest with you. I only know how to sing. When it comes to the camera, even taking selfies for that matter, like my friends know that I have zero camera skills, and I am conscious in front of the camera. But once I did Big Boss, I think that side of me sort of vanished because we had cameras on us all the time. So I got used to the entire thing, the entire concept of being filmed. I got pretty used to it, and that sort of helped me once I was out of Big Boss because. When you have those many cameras on you 24/7, shooting a music video becomes easy, and that experience sort of helped me in my music video. And I've done 3 videos actually. This is the first one that's coming out. I've actually completed 3 music videos, and I am starring in all 3 of them. Like, I'm coming as the actor just for the video purpose, but I am still camera conscious. I was pretty apprehensive about the entire thing, camera pay, and the directors telling me to, like, do this and that. It was pretty new to me, but it was fun. It was a good experience.
Because you come from a family which is like greatly involved in music, I want to know ki how many hours do you do your riyaz in a day? And when you went to the Big Boss house, did your riyaz also get affected?
So when I was in the Big Boss house, my Riyaz wasn't affected actually because I changed my way of doing my Riyaz. So usually when I was, like, before Big Boss, I used to do around 5 to 7, sometimes 8 hours of Riyaz a day.
Oh my god.
And that included my classical Riyaz, my singing, commercial singing practice and everything. All of that, I think it took up like 8 hours a day odd. And when I went into the Big Boss house, of course, we were not given any kind of musical instruments or tanpuras that are required for the riyaz. So I changed my sort of way of doing my riyaz. I started singing songs inside the house all the time, and that sort of became my singing practice. And I think it was loved by all, even inside, like, the housemates also loved me for that reason, because I was always singing. And in general, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. So to stay without music for that long would have been impossible for me. So I decided to, make make sure I keep myself entertained with my own voice and my singing, because the only music we would get to hear was in the morning, when that alarm used to happen. And for a singer and a musician like me, staying this long without music has been probably one of the hardest things to do. So I decided to do my riyaz in the form of singing inside the house.
Right. There was a big topic that was raised in the house about nepotism. And you kind of said that, you are here to make a mark on your own, and like you are proving that. But tell me
Hmm.
honestly, has it ever backfired on you being the son of Mr. Kumar Sanu in the industry?
Yeah, of course it has backfired. Actually, it's actually backfired on me a lot of times, because
Like how?
people have this misconception that because I'm so and so son, I will work comes easy to me. People have this preconceived notion in their mind, that because you're so and so son, you must be having it easy, or like, since you're a star kid, aapko to kaam easily milta hai. Aisa, it's not like that. Honestly, it's quite the opposite, because since everybody has that preconceived image and that preconceived thought in their mind that this guy gets work easily, because of that nobody gives us work. That's the problem. That is the biggest challenge. To remove this notion from the people's mind is the biggest task, and it has gone back against me a lot of times. People have had this assumption that I'm getting work easy, so they should give someone else a chance, which is not true. uh, Honestly, i I might be Mr. Kumar Shanu's son, but I'm trying to make it on my own. So I have put in the time, I've put in the blood and the sweat, I've put in the hours, and a chance to be heard, like just a chance to be heard like the next person would be a big thing for us, for me, because people have this preconceived notion, and it's difficult to break that. So it's gone against me a lot of times. There has always been the comparison bit, wherein whenever I sing, there is this comparison with my father. What people don't understand is that my dad started singing at the like at a much later age, and to compare me to him would be nothing short of injustice, because he is a legend in his own rights, and he's a legend in himself. He has done his bit, I am trying to do my bit. So uh, you should give me that opportunity instead of comparing me with him, because there cannot be another Kumar Sanu, there cannot be another Kishore Kumar, there cannot be another Mohammad Rafi Saab, there cannot be another Lata ji or Asha ji for that matter. So there is no reason for which you should compare, but people do that because I'm his son, and they look for my dad's voice in me, which is, again, it's a sort of obstacle for me, because I do not sound like my dad at all. I have my own, like, style of singing, and that, yeah, that does backfire against me a lot of times.
Have you met like music directors or producers, and has anyone ever like been rude to you?
um yeah, actually I have. I've had I've struggled just as much as anyone else would. um, I've waited in lobbies, I've waited outside offices for hours. The longest time I waited outside an office was, I think, 8 or 9 hours. I think I've waited, and then I couldn't go through with the meeting. Like, the person who was supposed to meet me, he didn't meet me. But yeah, I've had my days of struggle. I won't lie, and I'm proud of it, actually, because it's because of the struggles that I've had, and the struggles that I'm going to have, of course, that I'm going to value whatever comes my way, because anything that comes easy, according to me, and my my mom, anything that comes easy goes away easily. But if you work hard for something, you put in the blood and the sweat, then you value that particular thing. And I have I've had my days of struggle. I've had my days of rejections. I've had my days of unkind words being said to me. I've had all of those, and
What's the
it's made
most
me stronger.
unkind thing ever been said to you?
um I think the most unkind thing, there are so many actually. I don't know which particular thing to point out and like tell you, because I've had my days. I'll be very honest. I've had a lot of things said to me by people, and one of the few things that comes to mind immediately was what I just told you. It was said to me in a much ruder way. What I just told you, that people have this preconceived notion that I will get work easily and stuff like that. But that was told in front of me, and the person who said it was fully aware that I'm just standing behind him. And the person said कि ये तो कुमार सानू के बेटे हैं, इनके पास टैलेंट होना हो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, इनको तो काम मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. And that really hurt me. It pinched me. And but again, I can't reply to that or say anything, because I'm not that kind of a person. I haven't been brought up like, I've always been taught to respect my elders no matter what the uh, other side is doing. So I've just kept quiet about it. But yeah, there have been a lot of unkind words that I've heard.
Talking about your father, of course, when you came out of the house, there were a lot of things that happened between you and your father in the media and in the media glare. Now, how are things between you and your dad?
So I think both of us have been working. Even dad has been working a lot. He's doing a couple of these singing judging. He's judging a couple of these reality shows, singing shows, and I have been traveling for my shoots, for my music videos, and I've been shooting. So I haven't really had the time to sit down and talk with him properly. There are a few things that are not addressed yet, which I would like to clarify with my dad. And I think I would like to comment after I've clarified things with him, because again, saying something, me saying something, he saying something, it's just going to go back and forth until unless we actually meet and clear it out. So I'd rather meet or talk and clarify things with him before I say something out into the media.
Absolutely, I respect that. My next question would be that how was your childhood? And children are very easily influenced by a lot of things around them, right? So when your friends or when your classmates came to know that you are so and so's son, um, did their behavior change towards you? If yes, then in a nice or in a bad way?
So the lucky part for me here is that a lot of my friends since childhood, I've been a part of the generation where my dad was sort of fading out and new singers were coming in. Uh, and I was very small that time. So honestly speaking, I don't know if you know this, my parents are separated actually. So I've been brought up in a very normal manner. There is no celebrity tantrums or spoiled sides or demands from my side. I'm pretty normal, and I'm proud of it, because my mom has raised me such. Uh, my dad, I got to know about my own father much later in my life. I got to know that my dad is such a big name much later in my life. I think I was 7 or 8 when the full gravity of the situation hit me, wherein I got to realize that okay, this so and so is my dad, and he's such a big name. So before that, I was as you know ignorant about the whole Kumar Sanu being my dad fact as the other person, and unless someone specifically pointed out and said he's Kumar Sanu son. I think people, my friends, didn't it didn't make a difference to them. It was a pretty normal thing for them. uh, I think it's greatly owing to the fact that half of them didn't even know who Kumar Sanu is actually, because we were all too young. But since I was in the music field, I'm in the singing line. I had to take up the entire knowledge and the work that my dad did by the age of 8 or 9, because I had to understand and know whose son I was. So yeah, I mean, childhood was pretty normal in that way. I didn't get any special treatment from friends, and I'm glad. And yeah, it was fun. It was pretty normal. My friends didn't respond in any different special way after knowing who my dad was, because they probably didn't know who he was till they grew up. We all grew up together. So
Right. Talking about the Big Boss house now, everybody saw that, you always made sacrifices for Nikki, and that didn't happen from her side ever. Like, that was the whole narrative that the audiences received. But now when she is siding Rahul Vaidya and she gets emotional that you are my friend, do you feel bad that you were the one who kind of made so many sacrifices for her? You took a stand for her whenever she needed, and she didn't do that for you, but then she's doing it for Rahul now. Do you feel bad about it?
Honestly, I haven't caught up on Big Boss since I've come out. I've seen a few highlighted episodes actually,
Right.
and this particular incident that you're talking about, I haven't seen it. And even if I would, actually, it wouldn't make a difference because again, it's a game, and whatever happened inside that house. Now, since I'm out of the house, I would rather enjoy this as a viewer than as an ex-contestant, and then have these bitter things inside. It really doesn't affect me, to
So
be honest,
you
because
have moved on from Nikki Tamboli's thing that was going on.
there's nothing to move on. Actually, she was a good friend in the beginning,
Hmm.
but later things turn sour. Um, I don't know. I mean, I've never thought of it in this way. I'm not generally. I'm not a vindictive or a kind of person who would be sad about someone else's happiness or someone else being happy. I am not that way. I think that reflected in the show also. I easily forgive and move on because I don't like keeping negativity and stuff inside me. So even if this is happening, I think it's a great deal for the both of them because it'll help them strengthen their game up because it's a very crucial time in the house. So there is no ill feelings or bad feelings from my end towards this situation that you just said. It's
Right.
something that I don't know. It doesn't affect me, to be honest.
Who will you be in touch with from the Big Boss house? Like really, like meet after the show is over.
I am already in touch with. Okay, I was gonna take his name and he's just called me up right now. Shardul. I am already in touch with Shardul. He just called me right now. I'm in touch with Shardul. I'm in touch with PP. I met Naina also. We all met up actually. We had this nice reunion party kind of a thing, and it was fun. I'm waiting for Ajaz Bhai also to come out because, of course, he's like an elder brother to me. I'd definitely be in touch with him, and I think Rubina and Abhinav Bhai also.
Yeah, great, awesome. Tell me one thing. What was that one thing in that house that surprised you that you were not ready for? And maybe even the audiences don't know because you are living there for 24 hours, but what we see is like at least on TV is just like an hour episode. What was that one thing that you were like, oh, aisa bhi hota hai, I didn't know.
No, there was no one thing. There were a lot of things actually. There were so many things that I did not, that viewers don't know. There are so many sides to Big Boss that the viewers do not have a clue about it. It's a house of mysteries, I would say, to put it in a nice way. It's a house of mysteries. And the one thing that was actually shocking to me, the biggest shock to me rather, I would say, would be those incidents and moments where Big Boss would actually come live and talk to us. Because there was this preconceived notion I had in my mind that the Big Boss voice is recorded, pre-recorded, and it's EQ'd. And since I'm a sound engineer as well, I'm a programmer as well. So I would put my mind into that, saying कि अच्छा ये तो EQ करके maybe they are making the sound like this. But when Big Boss would actually be live and sit and talk to us, that was a shocker for me because I was just imagining that okay, there is someone who's actually got this, this voice has been given. They have this actual voice, so that was a big shocker for me. And the first day it happened, I actually jumped. It happened. I remember where it happened. Actually, it happened in the garden area. Also, the first time Big Boss spoke to me live, when he took my name and he told me, I need to Jan, aap confession room. I was like, whoa, like he's live and he's got an actual voice that sounds like this. So I was pretty excited. And then confession room, maybe when I used to talk to Big Boss, it was really amazing.
So basically, they're actually watching you 24/7. So it's a fact.
Yeah, they are actually there 24/7. That's the shocker. And that voice is also like something, it's unforgettable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before I let you go, I have to ask you to sing two lines for us in your melodious voice. Yeah, so could you sing for us? We want to hear your new song that's gonna hit the internet.
Okay, definitely. Hmm. 100 दफा देख लो फिर भी एक पल कम लगे, पास जो तू आई तो हर लम्हा सजने लगे, तू खुदा का नूर है, तू ही तो मेरा वजूद, बेइंतहा सा तू मुझ में बसा, बेइंतहा सा है इश्क तू। ओ हो, ओ हो, ए हे हा, ओ हो।
Thank you so much, Jan, and all the best for your future projects. And I really hope from behalf of my whole team that you become a really, really big singer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was great fun.
Same here. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.